We have Javis Austin here with us tonight, and we just want to thank you so much, Javis, for your willingness to come out and talk to our students, our faculty, our staff members.
It's important to me, as I've gotten a second chance at life, to go out in the community and to share my story with individuals that may be going through some of the similar things that I went through or been affected by suicide in some way. And there's a stigma that we have that has been going on for years, that it's kind of taboo to talk about what you're feeling inside, what you're thinking, your emotions, if you're dealing with depression, anxiety, so on. And I'm here to kind of destroy that stigma. It's been my purpose in life, and I'm so happy to be here today to share my story, share my thoughts, share my feelings, my emotions to those who may definitely need it at this time. So it's my purpose in life. God gave me a second chance, and I'm here to honor that. Started early with experiencing a lot of death at a young age in my family. I had a family member die in a car crash when I was like 8 years old. Then I had a young cousin that was lived to be about a year old who had Down syndrome who died. And I can remember my brother at that instance, and he said, you know, what's wrong? And I'm like, I couldn't imagine you leaving me. You know, I couldn't imagine. And he was like, no, I'll never leave you. And then years later, he turned around and he died, you know, from a massive heart attack. And I think as going on after his death and still grieving, and football was something that we shared. So I used football as a coping mechanism almost. And as long as I had football, I had him. He lived through me. It was a thing that we shared together. And so when football was kind of taken away from me, all that kind of emotion, all the deaths from growing up, all that came to a head and just exploded. That day, I could remember I had an incident at practice the day before. I went in for a drill. One of the assistant coaches put me in for a drill. I did the drill perfectly. Head coach told me to get him out of there, and I was like, that was it. I can't face this anymore. Through my night, got up the next day, went to class. It was kind of running late, I believe. Parked my car somewhere in the faculty spot. I guess some of the students can contest to that. Put my car in, towed the car, and that felt like the most devastating thing in the world. I was like, that was it. That was like the nail in the coffin for me. So I got a ride home, and it was real dark in summer. My roommate came home, tried to talk me out, taught me going in practice. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not dealing with the end of the day. Nah, you know, I can't do it anymore. He didn't know what was going on. He went on to practice. And I could just remember laying on my bed with the gun beside me and putting the gun to my temple and asking God, if there's anything that you can do to help me, please. I do not want to die, but I can't face it anymore. And then I pulled the trigger. I immediately jumped up. And the first thought in my head was, why am I not dead? You know, why am I not dead?
So as you had talked about there being stigma around mental health in general and people seeking the help that they need, what were some of the barriers there for you that seemed to get in the way of seeking the help that you needed?
Well, talking about that stigma, everyone thinks if part of the stigma is, if you tell someone that you're having these thoughts of suicide, or you're having the symptoms of depression and anxiety, that they may look at you like you're crazy. And that's part of the stigma that we need to get over. That's probably one of the main barriers that people deal with day to day when it comes to mental health. That stigma is just what it is. It's not true. It's time for us to realize that the best thing to do is to talk about it, is to get it out, is to talk with a therapist, a friend, a counselor, someone in the church, someone that can actually help you get the help that you need so that you can go on through life and have a successful, productive life.